People, welcome back, and in this video we are going to learn on the topic of type wrappers in Java. Now Java is a very well-known programming language by everybody, and many even complain that it is a very lengthy written program. There's when type wrappers comes in to help you people. Now let's see what are type wrappers. Type wrappers are also known as wrapper classes, which are special Java classes which encapsulate your primitive data types as objects. Now, you know what are primitive data types, like we have our int, we have double, we have float, etc. These allow to treat your primitive data types as objects, which gives them access to wealth of object-oriented features and methods. Now, there are some of the features given here. First one is encapsulation. Provides a safe and controlled way for accessing and manipulating of data. After that, we have object-oriented behavior. Now, these utilize methods and properties of your objects, which enables actions like comparisons and other operations which are unavailable to your normal primitive data types. Next is enhanced functionality. Now, type wrappers provide various methods to work with primitive values. Next is flexibility and reusability. Now, it is very important in, let it be any programming language, let it be Java, your Python or anything. Reusability of code helps a lot as it reduces your line of code and reduces the complexity. Now, here the type wrappers allows core reusability, which provides a consistent way to interact with your data regardless of its representation. Now coming to the next slide, we have the differentiation of primitive data types versus our type wrappers. Now, as we know, the primitive data types are fundamental building blocks of storing our data, which are very simple and efficient. But type wrappers are objects which are encapsulating your primitive data types, which allows them to participate in any object-oriented based concepts like your polymorphism, methods, inheritance, etc. Now, why it is important to know the difference is to understand the role of type wrappers in Java. Now let's see. For primitive data types, our basic data types like int and double, the same things are getting encapsulated as integer, double, boolean and character, etc. Then in primitive data types we have direct representation of values along with an efficient and lightweight of data type. Now in primitive data types, they directly represent our values, whereas our type wrappers treat your primitive values as objects. Now coming to the next slide, we have auto unboxing and boxing features. Now what are these? These are mechanisms which helps interaction of primitive data types and their wrapper classes. Now let's talking about AutoBoxing. It is an implicit conversion of primitive value to its object, whereas unboxing is opposite of our AutoBoxing, which is to implicit conversion of wrapper object back to its primitive value. Now here for AutoBoxing it says that automatic conversion of primitive value into its wrapper object, such as int will get converted to integer, whereas unboxing does the opposite, which converts your integer, which is a wrapper class object, to int, which is in its primitive data type. Next one, we will see some advantages of using the type wrappers. First, we have object-oriented programming. Now, as we know, type wrappers allows primitive values to participate in object-oriented concepts like modularity, reusability, and maintainability. Second advantage comes under methods and properties, where it provides a rich set of methods along with its manipulation and analyzing data of common tasks and functionality to primitive values. Next is its generic compatibility. Now type wrappers are very essential for Java generics, as it enables the use of primitive data types in parameterized type, which will enhance the code very greatly and enhances its safety and flexibility. Next one is collection and data structures. Now it enables of storage and manipulation of primitive data types in data structures, which expands the scope of our data management. Next we will see some commonly used type wrappers in Java. Now let's see some examples. Now for byte with B short in its primitive data type gets converted to byte with a capital B for the wrapper class. Now here the byte was an variable, whereas now in the wrapper class it becomes an object. We'll see some examples of the wrapper class. First one we'll take is for integer data type. Now here it encapsulates int values as its objects, and it provides methods for working with integers such as strings and converting it into binary or any hexadecimal comparing integers. Now some example here is it given us integer number 1 equal to new integer 10. Now here normally in our primitive data types we give it as int num1, and here due to the wrapper class we are giving it as whole integer word, and other all things remains the same for the code. Next one is our double wrapper example. Here also it is very similar to the integer wrapper example. Now the only difference here is that it contains a uppercase D instead of the normal lowercase d. Now here is an example for boolean wrapper, where normally we give it as bool, but here we give it as boolean since it is an object. Next is why type wrappers are very important in Java. Now it helps, as we know, it converts our primitive data types to object, but also it is helping in maintaining our code. Now how it is? First one, it helps in enhancing the code design, as it is more modular coding structure, maintainability. Next one is increased functionality, as it extends the capacity of the primitive data types, making our program more effective and powerful. Next one is improved type safety. Here it helps in reducing the errors which are generally occurring in our primitive data types, and it also enhances its reliability. Now the final is greater flexibility. Now it allows you to work with your primitive data types in more flexible ways by allowing it to adapt into more programming needs and scenarios. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.